The path to wealth is not paved with luck or fleeting trends. It is forged through unwavering principles, the kind that shape not just your bank account, but your very identity. 7 pillars stand firm against the storms of doubt, distraction, and delay. 7 principles that, once mastered, transform the ordinary into the extraordinary, the dreamer into the millionaire. Clarity is the first fire that must ignite within you. Clarity of purpose, of desire, of vision. Without it, you wander, lost in a fog of indecision. Look at Edison, a man who failed thousands of times, yet never lost sight of the incandescent light he sought. His clarity was his compass, steering him relentlessly toward his goal. The millionaire's mind cuts through noise and distraction like a razor. Every action aligns with a defined outcome. When your vision is sharp and vivid, it commands your energy, your focus, your soul. Belief follows clarity like shadow to light. Belief is the unseen force that animates every success story. Carnegie, once a poor immigrant, believed not in his circumstances, but in his capacity to rise above them. This belief fueled his ambition and silenced the whispers of doubt. The millionaire believes first, then sees the reality. Faith in your vision is the architect of all progress. Without belief, clarity is a hollow shell. Discipline is the unyielding muscle that turns belief into habit. Ford rose before dawn, molding his days with deliberate consistency. Success does not come to those who wait for perfect moments, but to those who shape their days with precision. Discipline is the refusal to surrender to comfort, the commitment to show up when motivation fades. It is the relentless march of small choices that lead to monumental transformation. Focus is the laser that hones your efforts on what truly matters. Disney, crafting dreams from animation cells, understood that greatness requires undivided attention. The world is a labyrinth of distractions designed to derail your mission. The millionaire locks eyes on the prize, tuning out the noise, and moves with singular intent. Focus is your power to say no to the trivial, yes to the essential. Action is the force that breathes life into vision. Napoleon Hill teaches us that knowledge is worthless without implementation. Carnegie built steel bridges by forging ideas into reality. The millionaire acts decisively, knowing that hesitation breeds regret. Action is imperfect, but necessary. It is the battlefield where dreams are fought for and won. Gratitude is the silent amplifier of abundance. Lincoln, despite immense trials, held gratitude as a shield of despair. The millionaire knows that appreciation for what is fuels the pursuit of what will be. Gratitude rewires the mind from scarcity to plenty, attracting opportunities and allies alike. It is the humble cornerstone of lasting wealth. Adaptability is the chisel that shapes resilience from resistance. Edison adapted countless designs, failing forward until the light bulb shone. Carnegie shifted strategies amid market upheavals. The millionaire bends like bamboo in the storm, learning, evolving, and rising anew. Adaptability ensures survival, not just of the fittest, but of the most flexible. Together, these 7 principles compose the symphony of millionaire success. They are not separate lessons, but intertwined threads in the fabric of your transformation. To master them is to rewrite your destiny. Your life is not an accident. It is a masterpiece in progress, sculpted by clarity, belief, discipline, focus, action, gratitude, and adaptability. The journey begins with a single decision, the moment you refuse to accept the limits imposed by circumstance or fear. When Andrew Carnegie stepped off the boat from Scotland, he was a poor immigrant with no promise except the burning hunger inside him. Yet that hunger was fueled by a choice to see opportunity where others saw obstacle, to believe in a future sculpted by his own hands rather than handed down by fate. This principle of clarity is your North Star. It is not enough to want wealth. You must see it, feel it, live it in vivid detail. Clarity does not whisper, it commands. It demands that your vision is so alive that every cell in your body aligns with it, making your desire inevitable. Like Henry Ford, who did not just want to build cars, but to revolutionize transportation itself, clarity is the lens that focuses scattered energy into unstoppable momentum. Belief is the lifeblood of that vision. It is the silent roar within, the conviction that no matter how dark the night, dawn is certain. When Thomas Edison was mocked for his countless failures, it was his belief that refused to die. The millionaire's belief is not blind optimism. It is a steel-forged certainty that success is not a matter of chance, but a matter of commitment. You must believe so fiercely that even the universe bends to your will. But belief without discipline is merely wishful thinking. Discipline is the daily grind, the cold forge where dreams are hammered into reality. It is waking before the world stirs. It is saying no to comfort. It is persistence through fatigue and frustration. Just as Carnegie tirelessly built his steel empire piece by piece, discipline demands that you master your hours, your habits, your thoughts. It is the quiet victory of self-control that outlasts passion's fleeting flame. Focus is the warrior's shield against distraction. In a world obsessed with novelty and noise, the millionaire's mind becomes a temple of concentration. Walt Disney, creating worlds of wonder, knew this truth. Greatness demands undivided attention. To focus is to protect your time, energy, and purpose from the chaos that seeks to scatter it. It is choosing the essential over the enticing, the profound over the superficial. Action is the bridge between dreaming and doing. Napoleon Hill understood that knowledge unused is power wasted. Ideas are seeds. Only action nurtures them into towering oaks. The millionaire moves decisively, knowing that waiting for perfect conditions is a lie. Action is imperfect and urgent. It is the battlefield where your dreams are fought for and won. Gratitude transforms wealth into a state of being. Abraham Lincoln, battered by personal and national crises, held gratitude as a shield of hope. The millionaire's gratitude amplifies abundance, attracting opportunities and allies alike. It is the rewired brain from scarcity to plenty, from envy to appreciation. Gratitude is the invisible magnet drawing success closer with every thankful thought. Adaptability is the art of thriving amid change. Edison's countless revisions to the light bulb were lessons in resilience and flexibility. Carnegie's ability to pivot in market upheavals kept his empire strong. The millionaire is resilient, bending but not breaking, learning and adjusting until victory is inevitable. These 7 principles are not merely strategies, but a way of life. Together, they forge an identity so powerful, so unshakable, that your millionaire destiny becomes inevitable. They are the language your soul must speak to rewrite your story, from doubt to dominance, from scarcity to sovereignty. And now the question is no longer if, but when you will embody these truths and claim the life that waits for you beyond fear and hesitation.
Every towering achievement in history was born from a choice, a moment when a person decided their vision mattered more than their fear. Andrew Carnegie's journey from a poor immigrant to a steel titan wasn't a stroke of luck. It was the relentless power of clarity. Clarity gave him direction in a chaotic world, a laser focus that transformed obstacles into opportunities. Thomas Edison's countless experiments were not failures, but steps illuminated by belief, an unshakable faith that light would conquer darkness. Belief is the invisible flame that fuels every millionaire's ascent. Without it, even the clearest vision fades into doubt and delay. Yet belief must be paired with discipline, the quiet force that shapes greatness from chaos. Henry Ford's discipline was the engine behind the Model T revolution: daily rituals, unwavering standards, and a refusal to relent. Discipline is the grind beneath the glory, the long road walked when enthusiasm wanes. Focus is the guardian of this grind. Walt Disney's unparalleled creativity was sustained by a fierce ability to focus on his vision, ignoring distractions and noise. Focus carves a sanctuary where your millionaire mindset can thrive, filtering out the trivial to amplify the essential. Action bridges mind and matter. Carnegie built an empire not by dreaming, but by doing, relentless, imperfect, and decisive. Napoleon Hill's wisdom is clear. Knowledge without action is wasted potential. Action is the pulse of progress, the heartbeat of every fortune. Gratitude turns achievement into abundance. Abraham Lincoln's grateful heart amid adversity invited resilience and hope. Gratitude rewires your brain from scarcity to plenty, attracting opportunities and enriching your journey beyond material wealth. Adaptability is the ultimate test of survival. Edison's willingness to experiment and pivot, Carnegie's strategic shifts during market changes show that flexibility sustains empires. The millionaire bends but does not break, learning to transform challenges into catalysts. These 7 principles, clarity, belief, discipline, focus, action, gratitude, adaptability, are not isolated lessons, but a holistic framework for transformation. To master them is to rewrite your story, evolving from limitation to limitless potential. The millionaire's journey is a crucible forged in the relentless fire of decision. It begins with a moment, a simple yet profound choice to refuse complacency, to reject the invisible chains of limitation. Andrew Carnegie knew this well when he chose not to be a product of his environment, but the master of his destiny. That clarity of purpose transformed his path from coal mines to steel empires. Clarity is the lens that sharpens your vision so finely that your goals are no longer distant dreams, but vivid realities. It demands brutal honesty and unwavering focus. Without clarity, effort dissipates like smoke in the wind. Henry Ford's clarity wasn't just about making cars. It was about democratizing mobility and revolutionizing industry. His vision was a beacon that guided every choice, every sacrifice. But belief alone is a spark without fuel. Belief is the force that feeds the fire. It is the bedrock upon which dreams are built. Edison's belief in his invention's potential was so powerful it drowned out thousands of failures and the chorus of doubters. This belief transforms obstacles into opportunities and fear into fortitude. It is the internal roar that propels the millionaire through adversity. Yet belief without the rigor of discipline is a castle built on sand. Discipline is the backbone of all achievement. It is the quiet daily grind that separates legends from wishful thinkers. Ford's discipline meant waking early, enduring criticism, and persevering through setbacks. It is the repeated refusal to surrender, the commitment to consistency that carves out greatness over time. Focus is the blade that cuts through distraction's noise. Walt Disney crafted worlds by devoting unwavering attention to his mission. In an era saturated with interruptions, the millionaire's focus is a fortress protecting time, energy, and willpower. It requires ruthless prioritization, saying no to the trivial and yes to the transformational.
Action is the heartbeat of progress. Carnegie's empire was built on bold, relentless execution. Napoleon Hill's wisdom teaches that knowledge without action is wasted potential. The millionaire understands that imperfect action taken now outweighs perfect plans delayed indefinitely. Action is the battlefield where potential is claimed. Gratitude amplifies abundance. Abraham Lincoln's gratitude through adversity sustained his resolve and perspective. Gratitude rewires your mind from scarcity to plenty, attracting opportunities and allies. It is the silent engine driving momentum. Adaptability is the art of resilience. Edison's countless experiments exemplify flexibility amid failure. Carnegie's strategic shifts in market turmoil ensured survival and growth. The millionaire bends with change, but never breaks, learning continuously, evolving relentlessly. Adaptability transforms resistance into renaissance. Together, these 7 principles weave a tapestry of transformation. They demand not just effort, but a rebirth of identity, a commitment to become the millionaire your vision requires. No longer a dreamer, but a doer. No longer a follower, but a leader. Now is the moment to rise, to seize the clarity, kindle the belief, harness discipline, sharpen focus, ignite action, embrace gratitude, and wield adaptability. Your millionaire destiny awaits, built not on chance, but choice.
The millionaire's journey is carved not by luck, but by clarity, an unshakable vision that guides every decision. Andrew Carnegie's clarity turned immigrant struggle into industrial triumph, his purpose sharp as a blade cutting through uncertainty. Belief ignites this vision, powering persistence beyond failure. Edison's faith never wavered despite thousands of setbacks. The millionaire's belief is a fortress of conviction, impervious to doubt and fear. Discipline forges this belief into daily action. Henry Ford's relentless routine propelled him to revolutionize transportation. Discipline is the steady heartbeat behind every triumph, the silent force beyond fleeting motivation. Focus shields this rhythm from distraction. Walt Disney's creative empire was born from ruthless focus, protecting his mission amid noise. Focus is saying no to all but what moves you closer to your goal. Action transforms vision into reality. Carnegie's empire rose through bold, consistent execution. Napoleon Hill reminds us, knowledge unused is wasted potential. The millionaire acts decisively, embracing imperfect steps over paralysis. Gratitude multiplies abundance. Lincoln's grateful heart amid crisis sustained his strength. Gratitude rewires your mindset from scarcity to plenty, attracting opportunities and allies. Adaptability is resilience in motion. Edison's experiments embody flexibility amid failure. Carnegie's strategic pivots secured his legacy. The millionaire bends but does not break, evolving continually. These 7 principles form the foundation of millionaire success. They demand transformation, not just effort, but identity change. Master them and claim your destiny. Every empire begins with clarity, a vision so vivid it burns away doubt and fear, forging a path through chaos. Andrew Carnegie's journey from immigrant to steel magnate was defined by such clarity. His vision was a compass, guiding him with relentless precision toward his purpose, turning ambition into unstoppable force. Belief is the furnace that ignites that clarity. Thomas Edison's unwavering faith in his inventions was the flame that powered thousands of experiments. The millionaire's belief is no naive hope. It is a fortress of conviction, a resolve that transforms obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into steps forward. Discipline is the forge where belief becomes habit and habit becomes action. Henry Ford's daily rigor was the engine behind his revolution. a relentless commitment that pushed him beyond exhaustion and doubt. Discipline is the quiet heartbeat of progress, the grit that sustains long after passion fades. Focus protects this momentum from distraction's assault. Walt Disney's creative genius flourished through ruthless focus, shielding his mission from the noise of the world. Focus is the ability to say no to all but the essential, conserving energy for what truly matters. Action is the pulse of transformation. Carnegie's empire was constructed not from ideas alone, but from bold, relentless execution. Napoleon Hill's wisdom reminds us that knowledge without action is wasted potential. The millionaire embraces imperfect action, knowing movement breeds momentum. Gratitude amplifies abundance, transforming struggle into fulfillment. Abraham Lincoln's gratitude amid crisis fortified his spirit. Gratitude rewires the mind from scarcity to plenty, attracting opportunities and allies. It is humility's secret weapon. Adaptability ensures survival and growth. Edison's countless experiments embody flexibility amid failure. Carnegie's strategic pivots secured his legacy. The millionaire bends but does not break, evolving continuously. Adaptability turns obstacles into catalysts. Together, these 7 principles form the foundation of millionaire success. They demand transformation, not just effort, but a rebirth of identity. Master them and claim your destiny. Rise now. Your millionaire future awaits.
Every empire begins with clarity, a vision so vivid it burns away doubt and fear, forging a path through chaos. Andrew Carnegie's journey from immigrant to steel magnate was defined by such clarity. His vision was a compass, guiding him with relentless precision toward his purpose, turning ambition into unstoppable force. Belief is the furnace that ignites that clarity. Thomas Edison's unwavering faith in his inventions was the flame that powered thousands of experiments. The millionaire's belief is no naive hope. It is a fortress of conviction, a resolve that transforms obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into steps forward. Discipline is the forge where belief becomes habit, habit becomes action. Henry Ford's daily rigor was the engine behind his revolution, a relentless commitment that pushed him beyond exhaustion and doubt. Discipline is the quiet heartbeat of progress, the grit that sustains long after passion fades. Focus protects this momentum from distraction's assault. Walt Disney's genius flourished through ruthless focus, shielding his mission from the noise of the world. Focus is the ability to say no to all but the essential, conserving energy for what truly matters. Action is the pulse of transformation. Carnegie's empire was constructed not from ideas alone, but from bold, relentless execution. Napoleon Hill's wisdom reminds us that knowledge without action is wasted potential. The millionaire embraces imperfect action, knowing that movement breeds momentum. Gratitude amplifies abundance, transforming struggle into fulfillment. Abraham Lincoln's gratitude amid crisis fortified his spirit. Gratitude rewires the mind from scarcity to plenty, attracting opportunities and allies. It is humility's secret weapon. Adaptability ensures survival and growth. Edison's countless experiments embody flexibility amid failure. Carnegie's strategic pivots secured his legacy. The millionaire bends but does not break, evolving continuously. Adaptability turns obstacles into catalysts. Together, these 7 principles form the foundation of millionaire success.
They demand transformation, not just effort, but a rebirth of identity. Master them and claim your destiny. Rise now. Your millionaire future awaits. The millionaire's journey begins with a decision, a choice to embrace clarity that cuts through the fog of uncertainty and doubt. Andrew Carnegie's vision was the lighthouse guiding him from the shadows of immigrant struggle to the heights of industrial greatness. This clarity is not a passive thought, but a commanding force that directs every step, every decision. Belief fans this flame with unwavering conviction. Thomas Edison's faith in his inventions was unshaken by thousands of failures. The millionaire's belief is a fortress, impenetrable to fear and hesitation, a certainty that transforms setbacks into stepping stones. Discipline is the relentless rhythm shaping belief into action. Henry Ford's daily dedication propelled him beyond obstacles to revolutionize transportation. Discipline is the quiet, consistent force that drives progress when motivation wanes, the heartbeat of perseverance. Focus guards this momentum from distraction's assault. Walt Disney's genius flourished through ruthless focus, shielding his mission from noise and triviality. Focus demands ruthless prioritization, a sanctuary where your mission can grow unimpeded. Action breathes life into vision. Carnegie's empire rose from bold, relentless execution. Napoleon Hill reminds us that knowledge without action is wasted potential. The millionaire embraces imperfect action, knowing it propels progress. Gratitude transforms the journey, rewiring scarcity into abundance. Abraham Lincoln's gratitude heart amid crisis fortified his resolve. Gratitude attracts opportunities and allies, becoming humility's secret weapon. Adaptability ensures survival and growth. Edison's experiments embody flexibility amid failure. Carnegie's strategic pivots secured his legacy. The millionaire bends but does not break, evolving constantly. Adaptability turns obstacles into catalysts. Together, these 7 principles form the foundation of millionaire success. They demand transformation, not just effort, but a rebirth of identity. Master them and claim your destiny. Rise now. Your millionaire destiny awaits. The millionaire's rise is shaped not by fleeting luck, but by the fierce clarity that directs every choice. Andrew Carnegie's vision cut through uncertainty like a sword, guiding him from immigrant hardship to industrial dominance. This clarity is more than knowing what you want. It's embodying it so fully that it commands your every thought and deed. Belief fans this flame with unyielding conviction. Edison's faith in his inventions was ironclad, sustaining him through thousands of failures. The millionaire's belief is no blind optimism, but a fortress of certainty, transforming fear into fuel and setbacks into steps forward. Discipline forges this fire into habit and habit into achievement. Henry Ford's daily rigor was the engine behind his revolution. A steady rhythm of progress, the quiet force that drives you when motivation wanes, the relentless commitment to your vision. Focus guards this rhythm, protecting your mission from distraction's assault. Walt Disney's genius thrived on intense focus, refusing to be swayed by noise. Focus is ruthless prioritization, a sanctuary where your mission can grow unimpeded. Action breathes life into vision. Carnegie's empire rose from bold, relentless execution. Napoleon Hill reminds us that knowledge without action is wasted potential. The millionaire embraces imperfect action, knowing it propels progress. Gratitude transforms the journey, rewiring scarcity into abundance. Abraham Lincoln's gratitude heart amid crisis fortified his resolve. Gratitude attracts opportunities and allies, becoming humility's secret weapon. Adaptability ensures survival and growth. Edison's experiments embody flexibility amid failure. Carnegie's strategic pivots secured his legacy. The millionaire bends but does not break, evolving constantly. Adaptability turns obstacles into catalysts. Together, these 7 principles form the foundation of millionaire success. They demand transformation, not just effort, but a rebirth of identity. Master them and claim your destiny. Rise now, your millionaire destiny awaits. The millionaire's rise is shaped not by fleeting luck, but by the fierce clarity that directs every choice. Andrew Carnegie's vision cut through uncertainty like a sword, guiding him from immigrant hardship to industrial dominance. This clarity is more than knowing what you want, it's embodying it so fully that it commands your every thought and deed. Belief fans this flame with unyielding conviction. Edison's faith in his inventions was ironclad, sustaining him through thousands of failures. The millionaire's belief is no blind optimism, but a fortress of certainty, transforming fear into fuel and setbacks into steps forward. Discipline forges this fire into habit and habit into achievement. Henry Ford's daily rigor was the engine behind his revolution. A steady rhythm of progress, the quiet force that drives you when motivation wanes, the relentless commitment to your vision. Focus guards this rhythm, protecting your mission from distraction's assault. Walt Disney's genius thrived on intense focus, refusing to be swayed by noise. Focus is ruthless prioritization, a sanctuary where your mission can grow unimpeded. Action breathes life into vision. Carnegie's empire rose from bold, relentless execution. Napoleon Hill reminds us that knowledge without action is wasted potential. The millionaire embraces imperfect action, knowing it propels progress. Gratitude transforms the journey, rewiring scarcity into abundance. Abraham Lincoln's gratitude heart amid crisis fortified his resolve. Gratitude attracts opportunities and allies, becoming humility's secret weapon. Adaptability ensures survival and growth.
The millionaire's path is not forged by chance, but by clarity. A vision so vivid it commands your every thought and action. Andrew Carnegie's unwavering focus turned immigrant struggle into industrial triumph, guiding him through uncertainty with relentless purpose. Belief fuels this clarity with unshakable conviction. Thomas Edison's faith powered him through thousands of failures. The millionaire's belief is a fortress of conviction, transforming doubt into determination, setbacks into stepping stones, and fear into fuel. Discipline molds this fire into habit and habit into achievement. Henry Ford's daily commitment propelled his revolution. Discipline is the steady rhythm of progress, the quiet force that keeps you moving when motivation fades. Focus protects this rhythm from distractions, chaos. Walt Disney's genius thrived on intense focus, shutting out noise and triviality. Focus is ruthless prioritization, a sanctuary for your mission amid a world of distractions. Action breathes life into vision. Carnegie's empire rose from bold, persistent execution. Napoleon Hill teaches that knowledge without action is wasted potential. The millionaire embraces imperfect action, knowing progress demands movement. Gratitude magnifies abundance. Lincoln's grateful spirit amid crisis fortified his strength. Gratitude attracts opportunities and allies, becoming humility's secret weapon. Adaptability is resilience in motion.
Edison's countless experiments embody flexibility amid failure. Carnegie's pivots secured his legacy through turbulent times. The millionaire bends but does not break, evolving constantly. Adaptability turns obstacles into opportunities. Together, these 7 principles form the blueprint of millionaire success. They demand transformation, not just effort, but a profound identity shift. Master them, and your destiny is rewritten. The millionaire's path is not forged by chance, but by clarity, a vision so vivid it commands your every thought and action. Andrew Carnegie's unwavering focus turned immigrant struggle into industrial triumph, guiding him through uncertainty with relentless purpose. Belief fuels this clarity with unshakable conviction. Thomas Edison's faith powered him through thousands of failures. The millionaire's belief is a fortress of conviction, transforming doubt into determination, setbacks into stepping stones, and fear into fuel. Discipline molds this fire into habit, and habit into achievement. Henry Ford's daily commitment propelled his revolution. Discipline is the steady rhythm of progress, the quiet force that keeps you moving when motivation fades. Focus protects this rhythm from distractions' chaos. Walt Disney's genius thrived on intense focus, shutting out noise and triviality. Focus is ruthless prioritization, a sanctuary for your mission amid a world of distractions. Action breathes life into vision. Carnegie's empire rose from bold, persistent execution. Napoleon Hill reminds us knowledge without action is wasted potential. The millionaire embraces imperfect action, knowing progress demands movement. Gratitude magnifies abundance. Lincoln's grateful spirit amid crisis fortified his spirit. Gratitude attracts opportunities and allies, becoming humility's secret weapon. Adaptability is resilience in motion. Edison's countless experiments embody flexibility amid failure. Carnegie's pivots secured his legacy through turbulent times. The millionaire bends but does not break, evolving constantly. Adaptability turns obstacles into opportunities. Together, these 7 principles form the blueprint of millionaire success. They demand transformation, not just effort, but a profound identity shift. Master them, and your destiny is rewritten. Then listen closely, because now we go deeper. The 7 principles are not just traits, they are forces. And once they awaken within you, something begins to shift. You start walking differently. You speak with a new tone. You look at the world not with fear, but with fire in your eyes. Because the truth is, the millionaire's path is not reserved for the lucky or the chosen. It's reserved for those who choose themselves. And choice is the 8th principle. Not spoken in books, not taught in schools, but the most critical of them all. Because without the power to choose, to claim, to decide, to draw a line in the sand, none of the others take root. You could have clarity, but without choosing to honor it, it's just a fantasy. You could have belief, but without choosing to live by it, it dies in silence. You must choose to be disciplined, choose to focus, choose to act, choose to adapt, choose to be grateful even when your world is burning down. Success is a decision, repeated daily, until it becomes identity. You weren't born to beg for scraps. You weren't built to chase the crumbs of comfort. You were made to build, to create, to conquer. Carnegie chose, Disney chose, Ford chose. Lincoln, rising from the ashes of poverty and personal tragedy, chose. They didn't wait for the world to hand them permission. They gave themselves the crown. And now, it's your turn. This world is not waiting. Opportunity is not pausing. The clock is not slowing. So ask yourself, right now, in this moment, will you wait another year, another month, another day? Or will you rise? Because deep down, you already know you were meant for more. You were meant for greatness. And the moment you decide, truly decide to embody these principles, you become unstoppable. The world bows to those who move with conviction. Doors open for those who refuse to knock and instead build their own. The universe bends to those who dare to demand more from themselves than anyone else ever would. This is your time. Not tomorrow, not when it feels easier, not when the stars align. Right now. Choose the life that's been whispering to you, the one you've been denying, the one that demands your courage. Make that choice and never look back. Burn the excuses, burn the fear, burn the doubt. Because when you commit, truly commit, there's only one direction left to go. Forward. Relentlessly, unapologetically, unstoppable. And now you understand, it was never about the money. The millions are just a byproduct, a reflection, a symbol of the man or woman you had to become to earn them, of the clarity you had to fight for when the world was chaos, of the belief you had to cultivate when no one else saw what you saw, of the discipline you had to forge while others chased distraction, of the focus you had to maintain when temptations whispered lies, of the action you had to take without guarantees, without applause, without anyone telling you it was working, of the gratitude you had to practice when you had little and still gave thanks for it all, of the adaptability you had to embrace when the storms came and your plans shattered and you rebuilt, stronger, wiser, unshakable. The wealth isn't the goal. You are. You evolved. You transformed. You reborn through fire and forged in pressure. That is the true reward, and no one can take that from you. Because once you walk this path, once you become this version of yourself, you will never settle again. Not for mediocrity, not for comfort, not for anything less than what you're capable of. You won't have to scream your worth. You'll walk into every room with it radiating off your skin. You won't chase success. Success will chase you. Because you will have become the person success is drawn to, unshakable, undeniable, magnetic. You will no longer need permission. You will no longer need proof. You will be the proof of what's possible, of what's real, of what happens when a soul refuses to break. This is your legacy. Not the cars, not the homes, not the bank accounts. Those will come. But this version of you, this is the treasure. This is the empire. And it all starts with one decision: to rise, to stand, to claim. The time is now. You know the principles. Now live them. Not one day, today. Millionaire, not
Because when a soul refuses to settle, it becomes unstoppable. It doesn't ask for validation. It doesn't beg for opportunity. It doesn't wait for the perfect timing. It creates the moment. It becomes the moment. Millionaires don't walk with luck on their shoulders. They walk with responsibility in their hearts. They don't hope things work out. They work until they do. They don't drift. They drive. Every thought calculated. Every move intentional, every breath breathed with purpose. This is the energy that changes families, that rewrites history, that leaves echoes long after the voice has gone quiet. Do you think Carnegie was chasing just money? Do you think Ford only wanted cars? Do you think Disney was only chasing cartoons? No. They were building something eternal, something untouchable. A a standard, a signal to the world that says, this is what's possible when one human refuses to fold. You are no different. The blood in your veins carries the same potential. The mind in your head holds the same power. The fire in your heart can burn just as bright. But you must stoke it. You must feed it. You must protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. The world will tempt you to go back to sleep, to return to comfort, to trade your vision for approval. Don't. That's the death of greatness. That's the slow decay of destiny. Instead, rise with defiance. Move like you are already the version of yourself who has made it. Think like the millionaire. Speak like the millionaire. Decide like the millionaire. Invest your time, energy, and focus like a future king or queen building their empire, because that is exactly what you are doing. Every day, every hour, every decision, you are building it. Not just wealth, not just freedom, but you. You fully awakened, you no longer chained by fear, you leading your own revolution. Because once you decide, you will not settle. The world has no choice but to make room for you. And when the world makes room for you, it does so not out of kindness, but out of recognition. Recognition of power, recognition of presence, recognition of a soul that will not be denied. This is the level few ever reach. Not because they're incapable, but because they retreat the moment it gets hard. They quit the moment the storm hits. They fold the moment the pressure rises. But pressure is what forms the diamond. And you were built for the pressure. Because you don't run from the fire, you walk into it. You know that every trial, every rejection, every lonely night, every failure, every moment that broke your heart was preparing you, sharpening you, refining you. You don't see pain as punishment. You see it as the toll you pay for greatness. And that is what separates the millionaire from the mediocre. The mediocre wait for life to ease up. The millionaire toughens up. The mediocre wait for permission. The millionaire gives themselves the authority. The mediocre say, I'll try. The millionaire says, I will. And when you move with that energy, when you carry that weight like it's armor instead of a burden, you become a force that can't be ignored, a force that doesn't beg, it builds, a force that doesn't react, it creates. This is the final shift. Not in wealth, not in strategy, not in tactics, but in identity. Because when you become the kind of person who naturally lives these principles, the money comes, the freedom comes, the legacy builds itself around the fire you've become. And people will look at you and say, something about them is different. They walk different. They carry something I can't quite explain. What they're seeing is a soul that refused to die in the valley, a soul that climbed, that endured, that bled, and kept going. You're no longer waiting to become a millionaire. You already are. The rest of the world is just catching up. So now the question is not if, it's how far you'll go. Because the fire is lit, the foundation is laid, and the version of you that once waited, wished, and wandered is gone, buried in the ashes of hesitation. What stands in its place is someone forged in principle, not hype, not luck, not temporary motivation, but principle. The kind that doesn't waver when things go quiet, the kind that shows up when no one is watching, the kind that builds when no one believes, the kind that earns in silence and commands in presence. You are no longer driven by circumstance, you are driven by standard. Millionaire isn't a bank balance, it's a baseline for how you think, move, operate, and dominate. It's a standard of self-respect. It's a code of how you treat your time. It's how you protect your energy, how you speak to yourself, how you face adversity, how you rise from it again and again. And now, You walk through the world with eyes that see beyond surface. You hear beyond noise. You move beyond impulse. Because you've seen what it takes. And more importantly, you now know you are the one who has it. There's no going back to comfort. There's no returning to average. There's no room left in your life for small thinking, shallow commitments, or people who don't reflect your future. This is your identity now. It's written in your posture, etched into your choices, echoed in your discipline. Every move from here is a signature of greatness. Let others settle. Let others shrink. Let others talk while you build. You've got empires to raise, generations to elevate, a legacy to live out, loudly, boldly, unapologetically. This isn't just a new chapter. This is your new era. And the world? It won't be ready. But that's exactly the point. They won't see it coming because they weren't watching when you were in the shadows. They didn't notice the nights you stayed up grinding while others slept. They weren't there when you made sacrifices no one understood. They weren't paying attention when you walked away from comfort, cut off distractions, and went all in on your future. But now they'll see the result. They'll see the clarity in your eyes, the weight in your words, the energy that enters the room before you speak. They'll feel the shift, and they won't be able to explain it. Because you didn't take the common path. You didn't follow the noise. You followed principle. And principle always wins in the long run. Let them talk. Let them doubt. Let them laugh. It only makes the victory louder. Because while they were chasing trends, you were mastering timeless truths. While they were looking for hacks, you were building habits. While they looked for shortcuts, you were walking through the fire. And now, you don't need to prove anything. You've already proven it. To yourself, to your future, to your bloodline. You've become a weapon of purpose, a vessel of legacy, a living example of what happens when a human being awakens to their full power. And the beautiful truth is this: you're just getting started. Because the real millionaires don't stop once they hit a number. They build, they lead, they mentor, they multiply. They become the root of generational transformation. They become kings and queens of impact, of culture, of standard. And now that responsibility is yours, to carry this fire forward, to light the way for others, to never dim your light for the comfort of those afraid to shine. From this moment on, everything changes, because you have changed. So walk with that power, build with that purpose, and live like your name is already written in the book of greatness. Because it is. You just signed it. Now let the world watch. Not because you're trying to impress it, but because you're about to lead it. You are no longer part of the crowd. You are the standard the crowd will chase. You are no longer echoing the voices of others. You are the voice, the origin, the spark. Because when a person embodies these principles, clarity, belief, discipline, focus, action, gratitude, and adaptability, they become undeniable. They don't need to scream their success. It shows in their posture. It radiates from their spirit. It commands without ever raising a hand. You've stepped into rare air now, the kind few dare to breathe, because it's thin. It requires strength. It demands integrity. It forces you to become something more than what you were. But you've made it, not because of luck, not because of chance, but because of choice. You chose to rise when it was easier to retreat. You chose discipline when distraction was more fun. You chose belief when doubt had every reason to win. You chose focus while others